First of all, I have to confess that I am a crazy cat lady.
Great.
Uh,
Perfect.
yeah, it is. It's kind of, I think Samantha must have figured out I was the perfect film writer to interview you. I have two cats, Obi-Wan Kenobi and Miss Minnie, and
Uh,
they've been with me as I've been watching your film because they keep pooping up their heads when they hear the sounds of cats chatting.
Very typical reactions.
It is a bit. So my first question for you is, are you a cat person, Soda?
Well, I love all the animals and plants and everything. So, yeah, I can't really say I'm a cat person. I'm person of everything.
I love that. And I get that sense of your connectivity to everything
Mm,
as I was slowly kind of immersed in your very specific filmmaking
mm,
choices. And I just
mm,
wanted to, especially for our viewers, to get a bit of a sense of how you describe your documentary making style, because it's observational documentary making.
mm, mm. Well, I work with my own 10 commandments of filmmaking. I have a 10 set of rules, and I basically do not do any research before shooting. And then I also do not have any meetings with possible subjects. And I just roll the camera, see what happens. And I don't even set a theme or goal before, making the film or before editing. So all the process of shooting and editing is my research, and I usually find out something I've never expected, and so that's my basic, way of making films.
So what you're describing to me is that the story is revealing
Mm.
itself to
Yeah,
you at the same time it's being revealed to us.
exactly. Yeah, yeah. Almost everybody I see and shot, I mean, I don't know what's gonna happen next. There was a scene when the mother cat fetched this, fish from the fisherman, and I thought she was going to eat it herself, but I find out, it's for her babies, kitties, and that's something I've never, imagined, and. And the beauty of this approach is, I always discover something, I didn't even imagine or expect. Yeah.
I love that. I also, we were talking about the plant world and the animal world kind of revealing themselves and the human
Mm,
interaction that is a
mm,
part of that world as well.
mm,
The 88-year-old man who is there after working his working his day job and tending to the plants, uh, the relationships were all so nourishing that it was a
mm.
lovely thing to watch.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. You know, it depends on who I'm shooting or what are the what are the characters that they dictate, the tone of the film. And in Ushimado, people are very friendly and peaceful, and of course we have problems, issues, but nobody's screaming.
No.
and nobody has cell phones. I mean, they do have cell phones, but they're not like into it all the time. And so that's a natural way of. I mean, I just simply recorded and depicted.
It was refreshing to see that. And you know what? It hadn't even occurred to me until you just said that. And I
Mm,
think that's
mm,
what added to the sense of peace
mm.
and calm that we felt. This is your 10th observational documentary.
Right.
Why did you choose this particular place and these
Mm.
particular subjects?
Well, me and my wife Kyoko, she's also my producer. We used to live in New York for 27 years.
Whoa, okay. It's a little bit
Yeah.
busier.
Yeah, a little bit. But during the pandemic, we decided to change our lifestyles and we moved into this, little town, Ushimado. It's almost 180-degree turn. You know, it's almost the opposite world. And just about 10 seconds away from our home, there is this, little shrine, ancient shrine called Gokogu. And there are so many street cats living there. And we became friends with them. And, I had no choice but to make a film about them.
They gave you no choice.
Yeah, yeah, they're too wonderful, beautiful. I just felt really attracted. And then one day Kyoko was asked to do a volunteer for TNR, Trap, Neuter, and Release program. And I thought maybe I could just roll the camera and see what happens without thinking about turning into a film. But when I was there for about 2, 3 days to shoot the process, I realized this little shrine is kind of like a really public space where anybody can come and go. And, some people are doing gardening, some people are, cleaning the, shrine. Some people are taking care of the cats. Some people are visiting to take photos of the cats. And some school kids, playing after school, you know. I just felt, it's a shrine, but it's also the center of the community, and it's also a intersection with the community and outside of community. So I felt really interested to depict this, little, small microcosm, to see what happened. So yeah, I ended up shooting for about 2 years.
Whoa. You must be a very patient man, Soda.
I um I am originally not so patient. I but when I have my camera, I always tell myself, this is observational film. Looking and listening carefully, attentively is the most important thing.
Mm.
So when I become the observational mode, I naturally become a little more patient. Yeah.
I was so fascinated by the fact, and you see it in a lot of storytelling, is once
Mm.
you're part of the fabric of the community that you are trying to tell the story of, they just end up, you're just part of it. So it doesn't matter whether your camera's rolling, and sure, fluffy mics are great for cats and humans to play with, but once you've settled in there, then you're a part of it as well. And if
Yeah.
I've got this right, what feels really great is you're not an intrusive. You're not,
Mm.
people aren't reacting to you and therefore reacting inauthentically, are they?
Mm.
It's really
Mm.
different kind of a space. That must be a very nourishing way to be a filmmaker.
Yeah, I call my films observational, but you cannot separate yourself from the world you are observing.
Yeah,
If you are an observer, you are also a participant.
that's right.
So
It's true.
I always depict the world, which includes myself.
Mm.
And so I don't really it doesn't bother me when people or cats react to my camera
Yeah.
and do something, because that's the way they react to
Yeah,
camera.
that's
It's a
right.
natural. It's very natural.
Yeah.
So I just let it happen. I don't even ask people or cats to pretend I'm not there.
That's right.
And yeah, and I feel very natural and authentic behaving that way. you know.
Talk to me about the editing process. You shot for two
Mm.
years. I'm
Yeah.
figuring you probably shot
Mm.
several million miles worth of footage. So how long was the edit process for you?
I shot about probably 80 to 90 hours of footage,
Yep.
and my process is pretty simple. I always log the whole
Yep.
footage, look at the film I shot in real time, and then I start editing whatever the most interesting scenes first, regardless of when it happened. Oh, this is very cinematic. Yeah, I want to edit this one, and second one, third one, fourth one, until I have about 70, 80 scenes, good scenes, right?
Hmm.
And then I put them together in one sequence. That becomes my first cut, which is usually a disaster. Uh, Me and Kyoko look at the, first cut, and usually Kyoko goes like, you know, fall asleep. And that's how I know it's not working. And then we discuss what's working, what's not working, and then I work on the second cut, and then we watch together. We have discussion, and then third cut, fourth cut, until I feel satisfied. And
Hmm.
gradually I find what the film is all about. Like the theme of the film just emerges. By many trials and errors. So even during the editing, early on, I don't know what the film is all about, and that's something I find out by really dealing with this footage and switch the orders or
Yeah.
add some scenes, take out some scenes. This scene and this scene, if you put them far away, it doesn't really make any sense. But if you put them together, wow, it has some connections. Yeah.
The lovely notion of getting to know your own community must be a big part
Mm.
of this. And I loved how the fishermen knew that there was more than 20 of them, but only knew some of their names, but recognized their faces. So I can imagine the cat colony probably had the same thing. They all knew each other. They all knew what they were up to. They had the same connectivity. So that was a lovely juxtaposition to make for an
Uh,
audience, isn't it?
yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Yes. Yes. Definitely.
Did you have a favorite cat?
Uh, all of them are our favorites,
Spoke like
but
any true parent.
but we have two brothers who are closer to us
Mhm.
because we take care of them on a regular basis. One of them is Chata. From the very beginning in the film, he tries to eat my microphone.
Yes, terrific. Yeah, I could see you had a personal relationship with him.
Yeah, yeah. He kind of wanted to join us as a family, so we are kind of like families. But he has freedom to go out, and we have like a cat door,
Mhm.
in my editing room. That's where he and his brother sleep, and we don't want to say we own them because
Mm.
they are independent cats, and they have their own lives. But we have very special relationship.
Well, I've always loved. I mean, I love all animals too, and dogs,
Yeah.
fine. But the connectivity I have to the cat species is purely based on the fact that dogs have owners and cats have staff, which I'm
Mm.
sure you've heard that.
Staff.
So
Yes, that's
yeah,
the
I mean, we are
yeah.
there in service of them as opposed to
Right.
the other way
Right.
around. So I love your analogy that your cats have their own lives, but they know
Hmm.
where they're going to get a nice meal and they're going to have a
Hmm.
nice warm place to sleep
Hmm.
and feel loved, which I think is also absolutely gorgeous. Were there, I thought about one of the women that came to the cats who wasn't allowed to have cats in her own apartment building. And I can
Mm.
imagine as a
Mm.
cat person how hard that would be. So
Mm.
it felt to me like living somewhere that has a colony of cats that's also there to
Mm.
give as much love back, that,
Mm.
that your place where you live is a very lucky community.
Yeah, I feel that way. Although, of course, there are issues, not everybody in the community love cats. And some people are bothered by the, mess they leave behind, like, poop.
Yep. Cat poop doesn't smell good. We all know.
Yeah. So, we have issues, and
Hmm.
it's very delicate, actually. When we start filming cats, I felt some like awkward a little bit, like because the community is kind of equally divided between cat lovers and not cat lovers.
Hmm.
And when we are shooting, everybody's go like, which side are you on?
You're a
I
cat
felt that.
person.
So, it was kind of like a taboo subject to talk about. So, the films, it may seem very innocent and, not harmful at all, but at the same time, it was really a delicate, I mean, it required us to have a delicate process of, filming and, but in the end, I think we're okay. We showed it to the community. We invited everybody in the film to have a screening, special screening, and we have more understanding, I think, each other's, and cats are living more like it's not a taboo subject anymore. Yeah.
Do you think that by doing this, you've done a service to the cat loving community, Soda, and you've now converted some of the anti-cat people in your home to cat people? Do you think you may have won them over?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, they might not love the cats yet, but they have more understandings, I guess. For example, cats are living, really, I mean, they are also trying to live, they're not just like, they are not like trying to make problems or issues,
Hmm.
they're not, yeah, their intention is just they want to have a place to sleep, they want to eat,
Hmm.
and they want to just live. And that simple fact, I think this film could convey. And also, cat lovers, we are not only, feeding them, but also we are also trying to, neuter them
Yep.
when necessary. And also we try to, take care of the poop and that kind of efforts, were kind of they've never seen it before, in person. But
Hmm.
through the film, people who are not into cats, they kind of recognize, you guys are, doing a lot of efforts to make it, better. And so yeah, I think mm, uh, I'm glad I made this film and showed it to the community, and also, to the not only to our community, also to the world, because by showing this film, I hope, people would, it would advance more understanding,
Of
and
each other. I was just, that's
yeah,
going to be my next question to you, is that this, not even necessarily even a metaphor, but it kind of is a really beautiful parable of
mm,
taking the time to understand
mm,
how other people live, other
mm,
creatures live,
mm,
understand our connectivity,
mm,
and have a bigger understanding of how we as a society and
mm,
perhaps
mm,
as humans and cultures and countries and nations
mm.
might benefit from communicating better with one another.
I hope so. Yeah, we are all sharing this planet, and not only humans also, but also other, beings. We all share this. It's not it's not only, yeah, it's not, humans are kind of like a, misunderstanding. Like,
Yeah,
we are the one who dominate this
yeah.
world. but that's wrong. And we need to find a way to coexist uh, and share the experience and share the life and share the planet and share the resources, with all the beings, I guess.
Yeah, what a great message. The film went to Berlin, am I right? It's been about,
Yes.
what was the reception there and how did that feel?
It was fantastic.
It's a great
Yeah,
festival.
yeah. The minute tickets were on sale, it went like, really, really fast. And it never happened to my films before, so it's thanks to the cats, I guess.
Oh, I'm glad you give where credit is due. It's amazing our fascination for cats. I think obviously to kind of rebalance the universe, so you're going to have to make one about dogs.
Well, I mean, I love dogs. I mean,
Oh,
I grew up with dogs and cats, actually. I
yeah.
grew up in countryside, in nature. So I was always surrounded by dogs, cats, frogs, insects, and so yeah, I couldn't make a film about dogs. Yeah.
Just to kind of nearly at the end of our time, I won't take too much of your time, but I love obviously an outsider's fascination with blossom and springtime and cherry blossom. I just love the kind of the bookended seasonal way that you
Mm,
the story, and also incredibly moved with the death that comes with life, but
mm,
also finishing on new life. I thought was an obvious choice as a filmmaker.
mm.
By you, wasn't it? I mean, that was all part of the storytelling process for you.
Mm. Yeah, it's something I realized when I was editing the film. The f- Initially, the structure of the film was linear, like it started
Yep.
from spring, summer, autumn, and winter, and that's it. But then, around third cut or fourth cut, Kyoko, my wife and producer, she suggested maybe we should return to spring again. And I was like, that's it. Yeah, that's something I've been trying to depict through this film. It's the cycle of nature, cycle of life and death, cycle of everything. Everything goes like this cycle. It's not linear. Although we have this kind of like a life image, like we are going like, we are progressing every day, every day.
Yeah, the rat
But
race.
that's not possible, and it's always cycle. And so yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that because it's really an important revelation when I was editing the film with Kyoko, and yeah.